So, you're decently charismatic, have a bit of an unhealthy craving to be a dictator, and want to get to the top fast. Assuming you don't already have an easy path in, like family ties or government power, here's how to become a dictator in 5 easy steps. There's a few baseline traits you need to have if you want to become a dictator. Charisma, as mentioned before, is key. You also need to be rich enough to pay off a few people, or at least afford your own bodyguards. Also, make sure you can stand to be lonely. The best dictators ensure they aren't too emotionally attached to anyone or anything. Still want to be a dictator? Good. Dictators have to be stubborn, too. Step 1. Pick a country. Pick a country that will be easy to take control of. Go for economically weak or politically unstable countries. It'll be easier to convince the people in these countries to revolt. Home team advantage is also a factor in the dictator game, so pick your home country if you can. Note, you can always pull a Hitler and pick a country that's close enough to home. Also, make sure you aren't picking a country with too much patriotism. So, for example, 1930s Germany? Yes. 1920s America? No. Modern day Germany? Yes. Modern day America? No. Step 2. Join the army. From Caesar to Hitler, many of history's greatest dictators had military experience before rising to power, and some even seized power through the military. Military experience can give an aspiring dictator like yourself their first real taste of power, and let you practice useful skills like how to give orders to your subordinates. Also, the support of the military can be a real asset in your ascent to power, whether just through political pressure or through actual force. Bonus, if you ever run out of intimidating yet stylish outfits for your dictator wardrobe, you can always fall back on your uniform. Step 3. Create an enemy. This will have to be adjusted based on your country of choice, but personal prejudices are a good place to start. If you really hate people who put peanut butter and jelly on the same slice of bread when making a PB&J, use that to your advantage. Make up a degrading name for them. Convince the population that those people need to be opposed in every possible way. After you're in power, spread propaganda to keep that anger alive. If you don't have a deep hatred for any one group in particular, pick a scapegoat for a major problem in your country. If it seems reasonable enough, and you can convince a majority of the population to see it that way, then you should be fine. Step 4. Execute. No, not literally. That comes in Step 5. Step 4 is all about putting the pieces together. Use your leadership skills from the military, hatred of a group, and natural charisma to convince the people of your target country that you are the right person to take the highest post there. Don't tell them that you want to be a dictator just yet. It's much easier to become a dictator after assuming power. Just aim for a president or prime minister spot. If your selected country has a democracy, don't be afraid to bribe for votes. Here's where you can start to use the military to your advantage, whether to intimidate political rivals with or to take some of them out. Maybe this step does have some execution in it. Step 5. Become a dictator. Okay, so you've run a successful campaign and have secured a top-ranking spot in your country's government. The hard part is over. Congrats. Now, all you have to do is expand. Slowly amass more and more power, and before anyone knows it, you'll have all the powers of a dictator without the title of one. At this point, it's likely that you'll be able to call yourself a dictator without any backlash, so do that too, as an added bonus. This step is tricky, and one misstep might lead to your downfall. Study historical examples to make sure you're doing things right. Oh, right, and you should also either lock up or execute anyone that attempts to rebel during your rise to power. Prison is a little less harsh, but Hitler managed to write Mein Kampf while in prison and ascend to power after his release, so execution might be the safer route. With these steps, you'll be on your way to dictatorship in no time. If you decide this is too much work for you, you can always just create your own sovereign country and declare yourself dictator. Tune in next week for 6 simple steps on creating your own country. Don't tell them that you want to be a dictator just yet.